Alright, what's up guys? This is Mad Dog 2001, and yes, this video is basically just gonna be a video about Wrestle Mania. And I know people have made Wrestle Mania videos in the past. This one's a little bit different. I'm just gonna go over basically WrestleMania from 14 to WrestleMania 23. And yeah, I didn't see WrestleMania 13, so I'm starting from 14 because that's when I started watching wrestling. And basically with this video, how it works is whatever comes, what I believe was the best match on that WrestleMania. And you guys can leave comments and let me know what you think, or you can say, oh, you're full of shit, or hey, that was a good match, or I never knew that. It's open. Do whatever you want. This is just a fun video for me. Alright, first we'll start WrestleMania 14. And yes, there were a couple decent matches on the card. You had Ken Shamrock versus The Rock for the Intercontinental title. It was an okay match. You had Undertaker versus Kane for the first time. But the match I think was the best, is I have to go with the main event on this one and stick with Stone Cold versus The Rock. Wow. Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold. Sorry. I have to go with that one just because... I'm sorry about that. I have to go with that one just because it was the main event, and the reason it delivered as the main event. It was a great match. Even though you kind of knew Austin was going to win, just because he was, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he never loses. At least he didn't during that era. The Attitude Era, as it is. I believe that was the best. It was a good match. You had Shawn Michaels jumping off from the top, and it was pretty sweet how Stone Cold reversed a super kick into a stunner. It was a good match, and it was a nice little mark out match too, because you know a lot of Stone Cold. You love watching Stone Cold matches because he was so great on the mic, and he pretty much destroyed a guy just on the mic, basically on that. Then the next WrestleMania was WrestleMania 15, and you had the Boiler Room match between Mick Foley and the Big Show. But with that all said, even though I only said one thing, I'm going to stick with the main event here, Stone Cold versus The Rock. Got it right this time. This was great because The Rock kicks out of the stunner. First guy to kick out of the stunner. Even though their Backlash, I had an itch, even though their Backlash match was a lot better than their WrestleMania match, but you know what, they're both good matches. We're not here to talk about Backlash, we're here to talk about WrestleMania. So who cares about Backlash, right? Anyways, The Rock versus Austin, great match, I thought. One of the better matches I've seen. Yes, I said it. Even though, like I said, you kind of knew Austin was going to win this match too. So, then again, so there's two WrestleManias in a row. As far as WrestleMania as a whole, it was an okay one. Then you go to WrestleMania 16. This one I didn't really care for, just because it had a great build up for it, and then they kind of destroyed it because Mick Foley wasn't the main event picture, but it seemed like he was just tossed in there, and that was very frustrating for me to watch, just because you had Triple H basically squashing Cactus Jack, Mankind the last couple of pay-per-views. Even though Mankind did kick his ass for the majority of those matches, Triple H still wound up on top, and therefore I consider it kind of a squash on him. So, what I mean by a good build-up is it was building up for Mankind to win the title at WrestleMania, and they just totally went the other way with it. I think Mankind didn't want the title, or Mankind liked Triple H and was putting Triple H over. I can understand that, and that's a good job by Mick Foley, but look what you've done now. Look what that turned into. Look where his ego is now. basically burying everyone who wrestles because he doesn't believe anybody has any talent. And if anybody has any talent, he pretty much squashes them or uses political power to pretty much backstab everyone so he can either get on top or whatever. I think it's just because he doesn't want anyone to be better than him or have more spotlight than him, except John Cena. The reason he picks John Cena is I know he knows the fans hate him, and it makes it perfect. It's like his way of reacting or whatever. So, anyways, for the best match on this card, I'm not going with the main event, which was Mankind, Mick Foley, Triple H, The Rock, and Big Show in a Survivor Series type match. But I'm going to go with Angle, Jericho, and Chris Benoit. The reasons for this is this match was definitely the sleeper match of the night. It was a good match. The fact that Angle lost both his titles without being pinned, that was pretty cool. He was the Intercontinental and the European at the time, the Eurocontinental champion, where he won it from Jericho. I don't know how he got the European title. I think he beat Val Venus or somebody. Who knows? I don't remember. But I know how he got the Intercontinental title. That's all that matters. It was a long time ago. Cut me some slack. And I'm doing this without any notes. All I got is pretty much the matches I have picked down over here on the side. So the next WrestleMania, you had WrestleMania 17, and this was probably the best WrestleMania of all time. I'm sure many people will agree. Some people will disagree. But as far as a pure wrestling event, this was WrestleMania at its finest. You had no dilly cock fucking matches on this card. That's one thing I don't like about WrestleMania now. There's a bunch of dilly cock fucking matches like Umaga versus Bobby Lashley. Loser gets his head shaved off or stupid shit like that. Stuff I don't care for. I don't like all the WrestleMania 17. This was geared towards the smart wrestling fans or the fans that been watching for a while. This was kind of McMahon's way of saying thank you. Yeah, he does care about you guys a little bit, not too much. Not anymore, but he did during then. So he gave us a good wrestling match, a good WrestleMania. You had the top lining match with The Rock and Austin. Great match. I mean, good build-up, great build-up, probably the best build-up of over all of them. Then you had the next one was Triple H versus The Undertaker, in which the undefeated streak was not being built up at this point, and it looked like Triple H was going to beat him. But, you know, Triple H does win, Undertaker does win the match, so with that said. And then you had the tables, ladders, and chairs match with Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys, which, like I said, it's a TLC match. And then you had Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. So, for the first time. So, I mean, this was just an outstanding card. And those are just a few of the matches I've named. Those are the ones I remember. I don't remember any of the other ones, but I'm sure there were better matches. I think there was even a hardcore time limit match. That might have been 15. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But as far as this WrestleMania, if I have to pick a match from this one's the toughest one to pick. I'm not going to go with the main event. I'm going to go with Triple H and The Undertaker, because this match surprised me. I thought Triple H was going to win this match, just because he pretty much was built up that way. Well, I'm out of time. I'm running out of time here. Stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to go over WrestleMania 18 through 23 when I get back. But I'm running out of time here, so you guys have a nice night, and give me my fucking change back, please.